So, Anthony, coming out the game with the point, do you feel frustrated that you didn't get the 3 points in the end, or do you think it was a fair result?
I don't think it was a fair result just based on the pressure and the chances we've had. For first half we were painfully poor at times, but I'll caveat with that with the fact that the weather played a massive part. Obviously, blowing a gale down the slope. They're not a bad side, we've watched quite a bit on them. They move the ball really well. They get bodies up the pitch. That shapes a real problem to try and get hold of. But I think overall disappointment. Because, as I said, the amount of chances we've gone and missed towards the end, but we built pressure. But it's 2 clean sheets on the bounce. Listen, I've never made excuses in my life in 13 years. We couldn't train on Thursday night for the first time in 13 years. We couldn't train on a Thursday night before a game. We had 5 players available. We were told that we wouldn't have players for Saturday. 6 lads there have either got illness or injuries that shouldn't have been playing. They shouldn't have been playing. So in terms of looking at it from the inside out, from what we know, lads are putting an unbelievable effort in. An absolutely unbelievable effort in. We've had to draft the kid in from Concert, who haven't got a game, to put just to fill a quarter of players. But we've had 6 players pull out on top of the lads I've just talked about on Thursday night over the last 2 days with illness. On top of that, we've let lads leave because they didn't want to be at this football club, because they told us that they didn't want to be here anymore. Not out me and Bernard saying we don't want you here anymore, but lads didn't want to travel to spend any more time. I think it's important that we get them messages out there that certain players didn't want to be here. So we shake hands, they move on. And then you're left with certain players that are in your squad. When you start to pick up the injuries and illnesses we have done, you realise how depleted you become, because, as I say, we played between the squads. We played 3 games this week. Monday night with the kids. Tuesday night we've played, and Wednesday night obviously the Challenge Cup, and then country on Thursday. So we've had so many bodies missing. Just to get a team out on a pitch was a big thing, and then to be as unlucky as we were at the back end of the game, despite the lack of quality at times. We've picked up 4 points from 2 games. We move on.
Obviously, you were saying about a flat first half. Going into the change rooms at half time, what sort of things did you say to the lads?
Well, you're just trying to pick them up. It didn't need any sense of motivation. They knew that they couldn't. We were just struggling to get a second wind. We were tired. I think heavy legs, and it just took us a bit of time to go into the game. And I think second half, especially with the slope, it helps you a little bit. You can step up an extra 5 yards, you get a bit close to the opposition. And as I said, especially the last half an hour, we built up pressure on the opposition final third. And I can't remember them having a single chance in the game, without being overly biased, where we probably missed 2 or 3 big ones where you think, same thing's happening again. But if we'd have stuck one in at the end, if Charlie would have scored that one at the end, what a moment that would have been for us all, what a moment that would have been for Charlie. We wouldn't have been talking like this. We wouldn't be talking about do you feel deflated. We've been absolutely buzzing saying we haven't been great, but picked up 3 points. So you've got to take the positives out of it. And Charlie, coming on and doing what he did for the last 20 minutes was a massive positive. Chris Mason's not played for 15 years, and in my opinion was the best player on the pitch. There was some good performances there, some real warrior performances from lads that, if you'd looked at 48 hours ago, wouldn't have been involved.
Obviously, you mentioned the clean sheet before. You're a point closer to the playoff places. What other sort of positives can you take from this game going into Farsley next Saturday?
Well, as you said, we've now become hard to beat. The last 4 games we played 3 full-time sides, and we get to start playing clubs that are in the same model as us, essentially. And you could see today, I thought they started really brightly. They looked sharp. You could tell that they've had 3, 4, 5 sessions this week. Some really good technical footballers. But from our point of view, defensively, I thought we were outstanding. As I said, they didn't create a chance. James and Joe at centre back were outstanding, with Kenton and Chris either side. So if that's 2 clean sheets on the bounce, we take that going forward. We know we can create chances. We know we score goals. It's just today we've fallen on the other side of that, where we took a couple the other night. So there's loads of positives to take, loads of bodies to come back in. On top of the fact that we'll probably look at making a couple this week and move on from there.
Going into the Farsley Celtic game next Saturday, they've just beaten Kidderminster today. What sort of preparation will be going into that game ahead of the fixture?
Well, hopefully, first and foremost, we can train Tuesday night. We've got enough players to be able to do that genuinely. Normal preparation, how we want to play. We'll study the video of their game today. That's an unbelievable result if that's the case, and they've got to beat Kiddie. And it just feels like every time you've got a game coming up, someone's coming into a run of form. But we're chasing points down. We've got a belief of where we can get to, and they're the type of games that we've got to believe we can go and get maximum points, like we did on Tuesday night. But sometimes, especially where we play, we're based on performance. You've got to perform well to get the result out of it. It was good to see us scrapping towards the end, you know, put set pieces, bodies in the box, that type of stuff. But we've also got a lift our performances, especially first half, because if a team does create chances and do take them chances, then you're always chasing the game. So that was the first time in 6 league games, I think, we've not been leading. We've been leading every single game in the last 6, apart from today. But as I say, you just fall on the wrong side of it sometimes.